United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast with your hosts, as always, Michael and Jacob. First of all, Jacob, I'm just so excited, man. I'm so excited to record this episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I'm so excited to be here with our loyal listeners. If I sound any better, it's because I got a new microphone. So, shout out Best Buy. But how you doing, my friend? We have a lot to talk about today.
I'm gonna say shout out the listeners.
Shout out the listeners, man. Shout out the listeners. They've been very, very loyal throughout these past few months, past few weeks. It's been great. We've seen great growth, not only on the podcast, but the live streams we do on Tottenham Away's YouTube channel and Facebook page as well. But yeah, me too, man. I'm thankful. I'm thankful today.
Definitely thankful. I mean, beat Brighton 3-1. I think that was that's a pretty big accomplishment, especially considering I know there's been a lot of talk circulating, people saying Brighton's better than us, or they play better ball than us, they have better quality at positions, etc., etc. Now there is two players for Brighton that I do rate pretty fairly good and pretty high. I think you and I both do. Well, at least we agree on one. Tariq Lamptey, he's quite the athlete. I thought we did a pretty good job at keeping him relatively quiet. And then the other guy for them as well is Yves Bissouma. That guy, he is a stud. He is definitely a stud. And I was texting you that during the game, and then he went on to score a goal and almost scored another right after I said all that to you. So it was a little scary. But you know what? My favorite part of the match was our response after we went. And after actually we conceded that goal, I thought our response was very proper.
Yeah, Spurs 3, Brighton 1 in the fourth round of the FA Cup. We're through to the round of 16 after Saturday's victory, like Jacob mentioned. All positive on all fronts, man, honestly. I'm happy to be through to the next round of the FA Cup. It's another step towards a trophy. It's another win for momentum under Conte. It's another home victory under Conte. And, yeah, man, it's been so good to see. The performance in itself as well was so satisfying. I thought we played very, very well. I thought it was one of our better performances of the season. The attack was flowing. The midfield was humming. I said on the live stream earlier last week that I thought that the midfield battle was going to be the decider of who was going to win this match. And honestly, I think that was really what separated us from Brighton. We controlled their midfield, we controlled possession, and then like you mentioned, I do rate Lamptey just like you do, Jacob. I think he'd be a fantastic signing if we get him this summer. Right wing back for Brighton, Romero punished him for trying to beat him into the left hand side, of the box. I thought that the back line in general played very, very well. Davinson Sanchez, another great performance. We'll get into the starting 11 in a little bit. Hugo made some good saves. Harry Kane, striking on all fronts. Hyun-Min Hung, back in the lineup. Nonetheless, Hyun-Min Daddy, obviously that's a very, very big addition to the squad, along with Christian Romero. But yeah, man, every part of the game I thought was at least a 7 out of 10. Very, very satisfying performance. And like I said, it's another step towards a trophy, man, which is the most important thing.
I think that this is honestly, unfortunately, our legitimate last chance at a trophy this season. It's real unfortunate to see what happened kind of in that Europa Conference League with all that shenanigans. But, yeah, man, for me, we also got to see the 2 new signings. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yep.
Steven Bergwijn thought he left a lot of things to be desired, but, I mean, you're just taking 2 weeks off of football. I don't know how good you're supposed to be, but yeah, man, I thought we had a great response to their way of playing. It was very evenly matched, I think. I think going into the game, I thought that they were going to control possession primarily, and we would work strictly off the counterattack. But much to my surprise, we saw them. We saw ourselves actually, keeping possession up with them, and I thought that that's a real bright thing because I can't wait to see what Antonio Conte can do with the rest of these guys.
Yeah, for sure. And let's just go through this lineup real quick. Hugo did start in net as predicted. Emerson started at right wing back. Davinson Sanchez, Christian Romero returned to the lineup, by the way, and Ben Davies rounded out the threesome in the back. We played in a 3-4-3/3-5-2 at times. It was kind of weird. At least I thought they rounded out the back three in the formation with Sergio Reguilon at left wing back. Harry Winks and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg paired up in the midfield, along with Lucas, Kane, and Son up top. Sonny and Romero returning from injury. Romero finally, after a few months out, with his injury, and then Hyunmin Dad, Hyunmin Son returned to the lineup after a few weeks off as well with a hamstring injury, I think, for Sonny. But yeah, man, it was a really, really, really good thing to see, just having Christian Romero back, Hyunmin Son back. But let's go through it first. Let's talk about the back line. Obviously, we did give up one goal. It was unfortunate and a little bit unlucky because it did deflect off of Højbjerg's back. But Sanchez, Romero, and Davies, what was your take on the back line, Jacob?
Really, I was just most excited to watch Romero come back, and he seemed to be all over the place. He seemed to be everywhere on the pitch, even in the attacking half. So that was very nice to see. He was just really just. At one point, I was going to text and say, like, man, Romero's really big dicking it out here. But, I thought there was going to be some little bit of a buffer time or something. I thought there was going to be some kind of
transition period.
Yeah, but instead he's already come out and
the transition period was the walkout onto the pitch before the match. That was the transition period between his injury and full in form Romero.
So I pulled up this tweet, right, from our source at whoever the fuck, reliable source, super reliable on Twitter. They said that I don't know how we ever convinced Romero to come to Spurs under Nuno while we were playing Conference League football. How we attracted him from, say, other big clubs, I will never know, but I am so thankful for that man.
No, he had a monster performance. He was absolutely all over the pitch. Spurs released even a montage, I think it was like a 1-minute clip of basically like all of his highlights from the match against Brighton, and just crunching tackles, even making runs. The passing was on point. Whoever even approached his area, whether it was inside the box, just outside the box, he was there. And it just really shows you, it reminds you how good this man truly is. And I think, we talked about it before plenty of times that we never really noticed that Romero was gone in the aspect of, like, our back line didn't crumble because Romero was out with injury. But now that he's back, it just reminds you about how good he truly is. He's been an absolute tank this season when he's been healthy. We just gotta keep him that way, man. We gotta keep him healthy, because if he's healthy for the rest of this season, boy oh boy, I hate using this expression, but sometimes it is true that this could be like a new signing for Spurs.
I really truly hate that whole this is a new signing. He's not a new signing. We signed him.
But it feels like one. It feels like one because he's been out for so long.
That's fair. And I mean, when he was here, we were watching his transition into the league, and I was a little underwhelmed. But then he started really coming on, and it was beautiful. And he was big dicking, and I loved it. But honestly, truly, if anyone came into his area, he took care of it. But then he was also going to other motherfuckers' area, and he was taking care of it. I mean, this man was playing like he hadn't played in some months. And honestly, it's a very welcome sight, because I don't know when the last time, I mean, you could, I guess, say like Yan and Toby's heyday, when we had a center back that's like as competent and as thorough with his work. I don't know, man. Excited as hell watching this man play. My next question I would beg to ask is, say we have Dyer back. Sanchez has been playing lights out. Dyer was playing damn good before he went down. what does your back three look like? You know, there's some serious questions there. Do you put Romero on the right of the back three? Do you put Romero in the middle and Sanchez on the right? Do you go? You know, there's just so many options. I think it's a good position that we're in right now. It's definitely a lot better than who are we going to fit where.
Yeah.
But I hope that injury he picked up at the end of the game is not too serious either.
Yeah, I think it was just cramps. Hopefully it is just cramps. But like I said, I mean, he was everywhere on the pitch, so one can only imagine how sore and cramped up he really was. First game back from a long time out. What, almost 2 months, a month at least.
Long enough.
But yeah, man, it is an interesting question, and I think that it's an answer that really only Antonio Conte can answer, really, because what do you do? What would Antonio Conte be thinking at this point? If you get Eric Dyer back, Alistair Gold came out with a report today, on Sunday, that Antonio Conte really likes Davinson Sanchez. How much does he like him? Does he like him enough to keep him in the starting 11? Does he then maybe shift Romero to the left side? It's really interesting because, in my opinion, you can put Romero on any side of the back three, middle, left, right, and I still think he's going to thrive. I think that's the thing with Romero for me. That's why I suggest maybe you move him to the left, because we know Conte really likes to play Dyer in the center. Davinson Sanchez, he's been really good on that right side, but then we've also seen Romero do really well in the center. He won Serie A Best Defender of the Year in the center at Atalanta in a back three. And this season under Nuno and under Conte, or not under Nuno, excuse me, but early on under Conte, he was playing him on the right side of a back three. So I don't know, man. It is an interesting question. How much does Conte really like Ben Davies at that left center back position? If every single center back is fit and healthy, that's going to be interesting to see.
That's that's really interesting, because honestly, I get a boner thinking about Romero there at the left center back, and then having Dyer in the middle with Sanchez.
He would be
Sanchez, how good that they've been playing. I mean, come on.
He would be just as competent on the left side as any other position. That's why it makes the question so interesting, bro.
And
you really have to think about it.
Right. And my other thought about it too is Davies, if you watch the game back, like, he looked like he struggled the most out of the three, but he wasn't bad by any means. So, I mean, honestly, when it comes to our back line, beginning of the year, a lot of question marks, a lot of exclamation marks, a lot of bleeped out curses. But now, oh my God, now, baby, anything. I mean, the way Dyer and Sanchez have renaissanced under Antonio Conte, it really shows you, the guys who've been in the locker room who are willing to take that step. I mean, when you look at the guys who got shipped out, right? And Ndombele, Lo Celso, Hill, Dele Alli. These were guys that all were iffy under a lot of different managers, and a lot of different managers said that they didn't work right, that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And Ndombele, he seems really happy in France right now. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't happy with us, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's time for him, exactly, the fuck on. So, for me, you see guys like Sanchez and Dyer. Dyer said he wants his ashes spread at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I don't know how much more coys you get than that. So, I mean, this is a guy we all want to see succeed. I loved it. When I loved Eric Dyer was that moment in 2019 when he charged up into the stands to fight some motherfucker because he was fighting with his brother. That was great. And to see where we're at now, I mean, he kind of took a big dip there. But I think what we're really enjoying is just how great he's become under Antonio Conte. I'm going to say great. He's not even good anymore. He's great, Eric Dyer. I can't wait for him to come back from injury, and then we see what we really got. And we still got Joe Rodon, who is a competent backup. So, man, this back line, I can keep talking about it more, but I'm very excited with where we're at right now.
No, for sure, man, for sure. Let's go to the other side of the pitch. Let's cover the goals scored today. Harry Kane in the 13th minute opened up the scoring. Absolute fucking banger. Emerson Royale, we thought, scored his first ever career Spurs goal, but it ended up being ruled an own goal after we saw that it was deflected. That was in the 24th minute. And then Yves Bissouma
Hey,
scored for
Travis,
Brighton in
if
the
you're listening to
63rd minute.
this, you know what that means. Travis, if you're listening, you know what that means. I want
Yves
them damn
Bissouma
personalized.
scored.
What
Go ahead.
what were those personalized things he said he was going to give us if Emerson Royale got an assist?
Personal joy video.
Here's a question that if it's an own goal, can you make the argument that that's an assist?
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
an
you
assist
can.
to the own goal. Yeah, I mean it's not ruled an assist, but it's basically an assist.
So with that said, Travis, you owe us. You said it before the game. You owe us now.
Basuma scores in the 63rd minute to pull one back, and then Harry Kane finishes off the game after a beautiful Sonny run into the box to make it 3-1. But yeah, man, let's talk about the attack. First and foremost, let's talk about this guy right here. And I know you're excited. I'm definitely excited to talk about him. Harry the King Kane is back. Absolute worldie of a goal in the 13th minute. Early on in the match to open up the scoring. Pulls up from outside of the box. Left side of the box. Curls one into the back corner. Oh, absolute beauty. And then, like I said, he did tap in a beautiful run from Hyunmin Hung, Hyunmin Dad, Hyunmin Son. He did a tap in a chance there at the end of the match in the 66th minute to round out the scoring. Hyunmin Son returned from injury, my friend. I know you were very, very happy regarding his return. He played well alongside Kane. Lucas Moura had a quiet match, in my opinion. I thought he was a little bit disappointing. Gave the ball away in some pretty dangerous areas. Couldn't really keep the ball that successfully throughout the match. But let's start with Kane, man. What a performance. What a performance.
I know you said let's start with Kane.
No, we're starting with Kane. I said we're starting with Harry the King Kane.
All right. Okay, that shot. Okay, that shot was sublime. It was beautiful. It was perfect. Curled just right. I mean, just curled it right beyond the fucking keeper's outstretched hands. Like nothing you can do there, buddy.
No. Unstoppable.
That is classic Kane. So for me, the fact that one came in the manner in which it did showed me he was ready to take control of that game. And that's exactly what a player like Harry Kane has to do in those games. I said it on the live stream. I say it on every fucking stream. Harry Kane needs to step up in these games. And thank you, Mr. Kane. You stepped the fuck up in a beautiful way. And that goal was magnificent. Like a goal in FIFA, honestly. So for me, man, that first goal of Harry Kane was disgusting. He took control of it. Harry Kane's second goal was just a matter of desire, will. It was kind of like what we saw with Reguilon's first goal for Tottenham.
Yep.
It was just you're semi in the right area, but you're so focused on the game, you know where you're supposed to be, and you finish what you know is not going to get finished. And Harry Kane was so focused in this game, you could see it from the opening whistle to the final whistle. This man was tuned in, and we saw it. I mean, that second goal proves it. If you're not mentally focused properly, you don't get that goal, that second one, because there was one earlier where it looked like if he had slid, maybe he had, could have knocked it in a little bit, but he finished that one. And for me, that just shows that Harry Kane is definitely supporting Tottenham right now, and that's beautiful to see. Curious what's going to happen this summer, especially because he's enjoying his time with Antonio Conte so much.
Yeah, it sounds like he really is, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it so much. I love Harry Kane. I love his game. I love what he's about. Fully coys again, and this was vintage Kane, man. This was a man who was in the fucking zone. You could just see it in his eyes. You could see it in Romero's eyes. You could see it in Son's eyes, Højbjerg's eyes, even Winks' eyes, Hugo's eyes. Everyone on the pitch, they were locked the fuck in to begin this game, and it really showed, especially early on. The midfield was humming, like I said earlier in the pod. The attack was free flowing. It was literally the ball was flowing through our formation. as we moved up the pitch, and it was beautiful. And one of the most beautiful parts of our game, in my opinion, was the fact that Harry Kane was dropping deep when he needed to, staying high when he needed to as well, was in the right areas, was making really good turns, made some really, really good passes. Like, he was fully in form, and I'm declaring it right now on this podcast. Harry Kane is back.
Get in.
The king has returned.
Go on.
Harry Kane is back.
Continue. Next page, please.
Next page. Hyun-min Hung returns to the lineup. Go, take it away.
Hyungmin daddy. Hyungmin son. Looked a little shaky that first 15 minutes there, first 20, 25 minutes there. But boy, did he start humming. Did he start running. And I'll tell you what, watching the replay of him splitting defenders and just bursting through them, hair blowing in the wind that he's creating, there's nothing sexier in football, bro. There's nothing more beautiful to me than watching Hyungmin Son split defenders, run through them with pace, and that wind blowing through his hair, and he's got that face on. Man, it's so beautiful. It's my favorite part to watch. And honestly, Jesus, was it overdue. I've been missing that, man. We went through all this transfer bullshit. I went through all the blue balls of Adama Traore. I almost got my other second favorite player in the squad. And I had the heartbreak of that, which, shout out, he also bagged an assist in his first start for Barcelona.
Here we go.
I just wanted you to know he's fucking on it, and he's great. And y'all are going to all wish that he came to Tottenham just like me. But anyway, Hyungmin Daddy, you reassured me everything that I love, and you embody just why this game is so beautiful to me. So I was just grateful to see him back there. I mean, there's just nothing like having number 7 out there to me. That completely, for me as a fan, just changes how I watch the game because I love him so much. And to see him do some things that he did last year, to see Harry Kane do some things that he did last year, it's, to me, making me excited again like I felt last year. So, man, it's a beautiful thing to watch. The thing that I was going to try and open up with, but you so adamantly denied that and made me talk about the King Kane, was I wanted to briefly just talk about how beautiful of a run that was from Emerson Royale. It wasn't perfect, but it led to a goal. Mm-hmm. And he started with the ball at his feet in our own half, took it the entire way, put it in the back of the net. I don't care how it got back there. It got in the back of the net. So for me, that was a great sign to see, especially with all the bullshit he's been. I'm sure he's had to hear a whole lot of shit from people.
The only thing for me on that goal is if you look back, when he kicks the ball, so he meant to cross the ball, obviously. Like, let's not bullshit it. He didn't mean to shoot. But hey, I'll take a goal whenever I see it. You know what I mean? But look, so he crossed the ball.
Did he try to cross that, or was that a shot?
No, that was a shot. Santi lives on forever.
Okay.
If you look at the timing of the cross and when he hits it, there is not a single player in the box.
Because they can't keep up with the lad. He was running them rampant.
But still, you gotta know your situation that you're in. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said,
the situation
I'm not gonna complain about a goal.
They were giving him space.
I'm not gonna complain about a goal. I'm just saying that we gotta be realistic here. It would have been a terrible cross and it would have been cleared out anyways, but I'm still thankful that it happened because obviously it led to a goal.
What I'm saying is Lucas Moura was attracting so much attention from their left back, that dude with the big fluffy hair. I don't know his name.
Cucurella.
Cucurella. Okay, so he was playing so tight to Lucas Moura that it was just leaving so much space for Emerson Royale, especially because number 20, I don't know his name either. He had to keep tracking back for for Emerson, so that was giving him oodles of space, and I think we saw that on that breakaway run that number 20 was just playing too high up the pitch and gave him a lot of space, and we saw what he did with it. And whether he meant to cross it, whether he meant to do this or that, if that, not, I don't care, man. It ended up in the back of the net. You know what I'm saying? That's like if anyone take a shot and it goes off of someone's leg and ends up in the back of the net, I'm still going to congratulate them because, motherfucker, they put it there. It took their leg hitting that ball in order for that ball to go in that net. That's as simple as I can break it down. So that's why I think it was beautiful and I enjoyed it a lot. Not only because Travis texted everyone before the game, if Emerson gets an assist that, he'll do this or that. And you know what? To me, that's an assist, bro. That's an assist, 100%.
Yeah, I think it counts for the sake of the bet. I'm gonna count it as an assist.
I mean, it led to a goal.
I thought Emerson played well. I thought he actually played well against Brighton. It was definitely one of his better performances. He kept Sonny March. I think that's his first name, Sonny.
It is March. Yeah, it is March. Yeah, that's his name.
But he kept March really, really busy throughout the match. He was playing pretty tight on Lucas. Cucurella was, at least. And it was disappointing for me, honestly, to see Lucas's performance. And I think now with the new additions of either Bentancur, who made his debut alongside Kulusevski, Dejan Kulusevski, and Rodrigo Bentancur from Juventus. The new signings also made their debuts against Brighton in the FA Cup. And now that they enter the fold, it's really interesting to see what the lineup might be looking moving forward, because if Lucas can't be consistent, I don't know if Conte's going to necessarily put up with that, or at least have as much patience as past Tottenham managers have had when it comes to Lucas and his consistency. But if he can't be consistent and Conte's forced to change lineups, it's going to be really interesting to see if either Kulusevski or Bentancur comes in, and then they go with a three-man midfield, 3-5-2 formation. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see. Speaking of the midfield, though, Winks and Højbjerg paired up in the middle. I thought they played relatively well. Højbjerg, I thought it was one of his better performances. He got the assist on Kane's first goal. And I've been kind of harsh on Højbjerg recently, at least, because I just think that he's been playing too much. I don't think he's been getting enough rest, and I think it's reflecting on some of his performances and his inconsistencies that we're starting to see this season. But I'm going to call it like I see it, man. Højbjerg had a very, very good match. I was impressed. Definitely one of his better performances this year.
Yeah, for me, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has been getting a lot of flack, and I think that's just because of how damn good Oliver Skipp has been. If you remember, man, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg was arguably one of our best three players in 2019 or 2020, excuse me. So I've always had some patience for the guy. To touch on what you were talking about earlier, I think Bentancur. I think Bentancur. I think he would fill the role of either the Winks or the Højbjerg. I don't think he's gunning for Lucas Moura's position. I think Lucas Moura got a little bit nervous about his position, seeing what Steven Bergwijn did versus Leicester. But this cat Kulusevski, man, you got to imagine that mentally is playing a little bit into Lucas Moura's game, because I think that I saw him not playing as confident and composed as he usually plays, or at least as much as he has been this year, right? So for me, he seemed a little nervous, and that to me says that maybe he sees this Kulusevski cat coming in and taking his spot. Who knows? But I thought it was really good what we did see from those guys, the two new signings from Juventus. I thought, in 15 minutes, Bentancur, Rodrigo Bentancur, I thought in 15 minutes that he showed how you can make an impact on the game in such a short amount of time. And that's something we couldn't get from Lo Celso or Ndombele or Dele Alli. You know what I'm saying? Or Brian Hill.
Yeah, for sure. So
for me, I mean, that right there is a big positive. That he can come in with limited time, make an impact. That's what we need in the midfield. This Kulusevski guy, he doesn't look the fastest. And I think that's the biggest knock that a lot of people are giving him, is that he can't burn these defenders. But I think he showed composure. I think he showed a little bit of his skill set. Again, very limited amount of time we saw from the guy. First time for him playing in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So for me, with all those circumstances, I thought he did decently well. I thought he came in. He provided us an option, a forward-thinking threat. I think there was maybe one chance where I thought he should have pulled the trigger instead of passing it, but he passed it, and so there's some promise. There's some promise there. I'm definitely not as bummed out about these signings as I was when we signed them. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, Kulusevski should have had 2 assists. His first one should have been to Steven Bergwijn, who skied it over the bar late in the second half, and his second assist could have came from Kane, who hit it right at the keeper. But I thought he made a decent impact as well. I agree with Bentancur, man. I think he's going to be a good addition. He has a lot of experience. Won 3 Serie A titles with Juventus. Was really key in the third one. And he's only 24 years old. I think he just turned 25, or he's still 24. So he's still relatively young. He's right there with your Romeros and the other guys that we just recently signed as well. He's relatively young, but he's got plenty of experience. And regarding Kulusevski, I think he's more of a player who, I mean, obviously he doesn't have the burning pace of that Lucas does have, and Sonny and Bergwijn that we've grown accustomed to seeing. But I think that's why I bring up the question that, either Kulusevski or Bentancur, they could possibly slot into a 3-man midfield. We could run a 3-5-2 formation, if you will, with Kane and Son up top. If Lucas decides not to put up any more consistent performances, it's an option. And I think Kulusevski could really thrive in a midfield because he had a lot of really good tight control, as well as Bentancur, who I think can play that supporting midfielder role behind Kulusevski. It gives Antonio Conte options, and more importantly, it gives him options with the formations that he likes to run, which is really good to see. So I think looking at it in that aspect, at least for me, it gives me more promise for these guys, because it shows me that not only were they selected because they showed promise before, or they've showed that they can be reliable players that can thrive in winning formulas and winning systems, but they're also players that Conte can use in his systems. Like, these are players that Conte is going to be able to utilize the way he wants to. These are his type of players that you're starting to see come in, and it's going to be really exciting to see what he can do with the ones that he actually does want, besides the ones that he just gets because it's what he inherited.
Right, and for me, I think the thing that stood out most about both of these guys was that, first, they come from a club like Juventus. That's a big fucking club in Italy. So they're used to playing under the bright lights, so to speak. The moment didn't look too big for them. I think Bentancur, he had a very beautiful little, I don't even know what the hell you want to call it, but little fancy footwork to just keep possession, especially when they were pressing very late in the game. And I thought that it was very cheeky and very composed, and he just made it look easy and simple. And I think that that's something we've liked with, like, Winks, Skip, you could even say, and Højbjerg. The simple things, sometimes they overcomplicate it, and it turns into a turnover. He took a simple thing, kept it simple, made it look great. It wasn't simple, and we kept possession. We didn't turn the ball over, and that's something for me that I would like to see more and more, especially as these guys get more acclimated into the Premier League. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just didn't think the moment was too big for them, and that's a good thing as far as the remaining months of this season go for us, and especially if we're pushing top 4, or trying to anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Any final thoughts before we get into man of the match and BDE?
I love you, Heung-min Daddy.
I love Heung-min Daddy as well. I love Harry Kane, and I'm glad Harry Kane is back and fully at his best, and I'm very glad that Christian Romero is back as well. All right, Jacob, I'll roll it over to you.
I want your man of the match first.
Okay. I'm going first today.
Yeah, you go first today.
I'll go
you
first.
On the left.
Man of the match. You already know who my man of the match is. The King is back. Harry Kane. Absolute class performance. There was no one better on that pitch. on Saturday. And yeah, man, like I said, I'm just grateful and very, very happy that he's back at his best. He looks like he's full of confidence now. He's got a world-class manager who he loves to work with. It's been widely reported. And Conte loves working with him as well. He's my man of the match. Had an absolute worldie of a goal for that first one. Absolute beautiful curler into the back corner. And then that second goal was just sheer will, sheer desire, and sheer BDE. I'm going with King Kane as well. The other contender for BDE for me is Christian Romero because of monster performance that he had. But because of that worldie that Kane had, that's BDE, man. Outside of the box curler, beautiful.
No, that's definitely BDE.
What about you?
Man of the match, okay, I have to agree. I hate that I don't like to agree, so
I know. It doesn't keep it as interesting.
Harry Kane, he scored two
Come on, man.
goals.
Come on, man.
The first of which was absolute beautiful curly dick in the corner.
Oh.
It was great.
I'm getting excited just talking about it.
And we're going
that's
up
how good
against
of a goal it was.
Southampton. We're going against Southampton midweek. Kane can show up again, get bag another two. Hattie, I don't know. So
For sure.
Man of the match for sure, Harry Kane. He's back. We love it. I need to see some more of it. Come on, you Spurs. He's definitely my man of the match. And I get excited. I mean, when he scores goals like that, my son gets scared every time. He's going to learn, but he gets scared every time because I can't help but be like, motherfucker. Because it's just like, oh, I love it. I love it that he's enjoying playing for Tottenham again. That's the biggest part for me. My BDE, I actually picked someone else because I thought you were going to choose Romero because he was big dicking all over the place. Easily,
like I said,
easily
if I didn't pick Kane, it had to go to Romero, man. He was all over the place. He was a monster.
My BDE is not Romero because I was going to say someone else that I thought had some BDE out there. But obviously I don't want to catch any flack. Romero, 100% BDE. But my BDE choice of the match, all right, is Emerson Royale. Because if you see that man run all that way through the pitch, ball ends up in the back of the net because of him, his celebration screams to me BDE. He ran another 60 yards to go run and yell at Antonio Conte, I'm here. You got me. It's like he was answering everyone talking shit all transfer window that we need a right wing back. What do we got? Matt Doherty, Matt Dog Shitterty. That's all we got. We need to sell him. Bring in Adama Traore, right wing back. Steven Bergwijn, right wing back. Everyone didn't choose him as an option for their right wing back. And his celebration to me for his, I'm going to call a goal. His celebration to me screamed BDE all the way because he's running another 60 yards after he had already ran almost the full length of the pitch. And he's celebrating, pointing to his chest. I'm here, baby. I'm here. You got me. And this man's fully poised. I can't hate the man. He brings me a lot of the same joy for the team spirit as Lucas Moura. It's that Brazilian fire, baby. I don't know what it is.
It's the passion.
But they both got it. They both got it. And he exemplified BDE for me because he silenced a lot of people yesterday. Now we need to see it more.
Yeah, for sure. No, honestly, that's a fair shout. Like I said, I thought Emerson performed really, really well. I thought it was one of his best performances in a Spurs shirt.
Christian Romero was big dicking on the defensive end.
He was, man.
Doubt about that.
He
He was
was.
big dicking.
Massive respect to Christian Romero.
Southampton?
I'm just so glad to have him back now because, yes, we got Southampton next in the Premier League. And then I believe after that it's Leeds, right? I believe after
I'll pull it up
Southampton
right now.
Wolves. We have Southampton and then Wolves, back-to-back home matches in the Premier League. And then City, Burnley on the road, our rescheduled snowed-out Burnley match on the road.
3 road
and
games,
then on
3
the
road
road
games.
Against Leeds United following that. And then we have to go to Middlesbrough in the FA Cup in early March. Pretty interesting schedule coming up for Tottenham.
Put it this way. A lot of games up for grabs. I'm going to say 4 out of 5 you should win. Easy. Now, I'll accept the tie just because we're at Turf Moor or just because we're at Ellen Road. Them Yorkshire lads, that's not a fan base you want to fight. That's not a fan base you want to go against. It's a hostile environment there at Ellen Road. But you know what? What did we do at King Power, baby? I'm not afraid of the road. We got some road dogs in the squad now. So for me, man, you got to win. I'll accept a loss at the Etihad. I'll accept it against City. You know, I'm not going to accept it against the likes of Wolves. I'm not going to accept it against the likes of Southampton, whom should have also gotten a dub, but VAR decided a 3-1 tie was good enough for them. That's a must win. You got to get 3 points out of those first two.
Yeah, man.
City, I'll take a loss. And then the next two, you got to win. That's just, and that'll close out the month. And then I'll start thinking about Middlebrows. But man, Southampton, this is screaming Harry Kane hat trick for me. It screams it. I would like to see a little bit more of our two new signings as well. They were exciting. I'd like to see some more of them. I'd like to see some more Youngman Daddy getting involved. Fuck, dude, I'm just so excited. We went 2 weeks with no football. It sucked.
Yeah,
Sucked
I'm just
so
glad
bad.
to have Tottenham back as well, man. It's going to be interesting because we still have 2, 3, and up to 4 games in hand on some teams still in the league. We're going to have a very busy schedule to end out the season just because of all the games that got postponed. Currently still in 7th, only 1 point back from 5th, 2 points back from 4th, but 2 games in hand on United in 4th, 3 games in hand on West Ham in 5th. And we still have the North London Derby to play later on as well. Like we said, we have City up next in a few weeks, only a few matches away. A long road trip, road journey is what we should call it, really, after our 2 home games against Southampton and Wolves. But it's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be a tough schedule. It's gonna be very testing, and we're gonna have to see a lot of rotation, man. I hope we do see some rotation. Conte has more of the players that he wants now. He got rid of the ones that he doesn't. He should have a pretty happy camp at this point right now. The points are there. They're up. It's just about if we can take advantage of them or not. But it remains to be seen. Southampton on Wednesday, 12:45 Mountain Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time if you're in the United States. And that is what, 7:45 UK time on Wednesday. So we have a live stream on Tuesday. Please don't forget that we do our live streams on Tottenham Away's YouTube channel and Facebook page. We will be on there on Tuesday with our normal stream. And then I think Jacob and I might hop on to a Tottenham Away stream tomorrow night as well. I think at 8:30 p.m. is when they started
Got
UK
the
time.
official Italian Spurs supporters club joining in the stream on Monday. So
Yep.
Yeah,
It'll
that'll be
it'll be a
interesting.
fun time. It'll be a fun time, man. I'm excited.
no doubt.
But like we said at the beginning, just really thankful for all of our listeners, all of the support we've been getting over the past few weeks. A lot more people, are starting to watch the streams on Tuesdays. So if you're coming over from the stream and supporting the podcast as well, thank you so much for the support on. It's been really huge for us. We've been very thankful, very blessed, and we hope to continue it for many more years to come.
So
but
real
yeah,
quick,
Jacob, any
also
final
I want to
thoughts?
shout out our sponsors of the show, Faraz and Pete. Thank you both so much for being sponsors of the show.
Shout out.
If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, right down below on the video, you can see it says, "Want to support this podcast?" ? Why don't you just head on over to anchor.fm/United Spurs of America, hit the little button that says support. Anything from $1 a month to $5 to $10 a month. You can become an official supporter of this podcast. We'll shout you out every episode. We're going to do some giveaways later on. Some things we're working on, some merch and stuff. We're still in the baby phases here. We're still building this thing up from ground zero, Michael and I. So we couldn't do it without your help, especially to our sponsors, Faraz and Pete. You guys, we are so thankful for both of you. And again, anchor.fm/United Spurs of America. Hit support if you want to become an official sponsor of United Spurs of America.
Also, don't forget to press follow if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you intake your podcasting needs.
And
Please hit
rate that
support.
5
Please
stars
hit
too.
like.
Go ahead and rate that 5
Rate it
star.
5 stars. 5 stars only
Rate
here
it.
on the podcast. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support recently. It's been awesome to see. And like I said, don't forget, we're live on Tuesdays every week on Tottenham Away's YouTube channel, the official United Spurs of America stream, hosted by Tottenham Away. We'll see you guys there. And if you are interested, please join us tomorrow night as well. If you're in the UK, we'll be streaming with some Italians, some Englishmen. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to add some American, or what they like to call Yank, spice to the podcast and to the
I'll
stream.
never call
So-
myself a Yank. I'll never call myself a Yank. I'm from the South, baby. Ain't no Yankee blood in this. All right.
Texan, baby.
Get that
Texan.
correct.
Thank you guys so
Texan all
much
the
for
way.
listening to another United Spurs of America podcast. Like we said, please follow and hit subscribe wherever you're listening to us on. Please follow us on Twitter as well. We will see you on Tuesday. We will see you on Wednesday as well after the match against Southampton. Up the lads, and Jacob.
Come on, you Spurs.
Quotes.